People say it all the time. I love that actor, but I can't stand Hollywood. And on the surface, that sounds like a contradiction. How can you admire the people who are the most visible part of the industry while distrusting the industry itself? But once you understand how celebrity works, it makes perfect sense. Because most of us don't experience Hollywood as a corporation. We experience it as people. A face on a screen, a voice we recognize, a character we grew up with, and our brains are wired to bond with individuals far faster than we trust institutions. This split goes back to the earliest days of cinema. Hollywood built what was called the star system, where studios didn't just make movies, they manufactured public personas. Stars were promoted as unique, relatable, almost mythic individuals, even though their image was often tightly managed behind the scenes. So from the beginning, audiences were trained to see the performer as the real part of the story, and the studio as the machine behind the curtain. That separation got even stronger because of something psychologists call parasocial relationships. It's the one-sided bond you feel with a person you watch a lot, even though they don't know you exist. You hear their voice for years. You see them cry, struggle, win, fail. You watch interviews. You follow them online. Your brain logs it like social connection. And that's why a scandal inside the industry can play out like this. Fans might believe the system is corrupt, but still defend the actor they feel they know, because one feels human, the other feels faceless. Then social media poured gasoline on the whole dynamic. On one hand, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube make celebrities feel closer than ever. A single selfie, a behind-the-scenes clip, a live stream from a kitchen creates the sense that they're not just stars, they're people you have access to. But at the exact same time, social media also exposes how the machine works. PR campaigns, talking points, planted stories, brand deals, engineered narratives, all of it gets picked apart in real time. Fans don't just watch the movie anymore, they watch the rollout. So the result is weird but predictable. We feel more attached to individual stars while growing more cynical about the industry around them. And there's another big shift here, influencer culture. A lot of younger viewers now grow up watching creators who feel like peers, people who are self-made, direct to audience, less filtered, less polished. Even when that authenticity is partly performative, it still feels different from traditional Hollywood promotion. So Hollywood starts to look like the old gatekeeper system, expensive, exclusive, insider-driven. That's where things like the Nepo baby backlash land so hard. Because to many viewers, it confirms a suspicion that Hollywood isn't just out of touch, it's closed off. A club, a pipeline, a dynasty machine. And once you combine that with major scandals, especially those that reveal power protection, silence, and cover-ups, distrust becomes sticky. Here's the key. When scandals happen, audiences often see individuals as victims or whistleblowers, and Hollywood as the structure that enabled it. So the emotional story becomes people versus institution. The same pattern showed up in the big labor fights. When writers and actors clash with studios, the public tends to sympathize with the creative workers, not the corporate side. It's easier to imagine an actor trying to protect their livelihood than it is to empathize with a conglomerate protecting margins. And then you get to awards shows, which have become a symbol of the whole tension. Award ceremonies used to feel like cultural events. Now, a lot of people see them as long, self-congratulatory, and detached from what audiences actually watch. And even if viewers still love individual performers, the stage itself can feel like Hollywood as a brand, a room full of insiders awarding insiders, sometimes lecturing the public, sometimes missing the mood of the moment. So people don't stop loving stars, they stop believing in the institution. They'll still watch clips, highlights, speeches that go viral, but they skip the full broadcast. They'll still follow actors they like, but they roll their eyes at the industry messaging. Which brings us back to the original contradiction. It isn't one at all. Most people aren't saying, "I hate movies." They're saying, "I don't trust the machine that decides what gets made, who gets promoted, who gets protected, and who gets left out." They love the human connection. They distrust the power structure. So the next time you hear someone say, "I love the stars, but I hate Hollywood," they're really saying something simple. I can connect with a person, but I'm skeptical of the system behind them.